All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So tonight, we just need you to find a place around the table. So if you're not around a table, you need to go ahead and get around a table. So that's where you're going to need to be tonight. I think there's a couple more spots available by Pastor and one by Joyce. So we are... Elizabeth's going to come and going to talk to us about just one important thing. And then we're going to get to play with all of these things on this table. So tonight we're going to dive back into our summer of worship. And tonight we're going to fashion our weapons, all right? And so it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be something that's going to be yours to worship the Lord with, and they'll talk more about that to you when they get up here, okay? All right, so I'm going to call Elizabeth. Come on up. Elizabeth! And she's going to tell us about some cool stuff.
Am I on? Is my mic on? I can't tell. Yes, good. Okay. Hey, everybody. So I know Mrs. Newman did an excellent job talking about dance and dance flags and dance flag worship. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the tabré. How many know what a tabré is? Ever heard the term? Did I see you, Pastor Russ? Kind of, but no. No? So it's one of these, yeah. Good job, Margot. So the tabré was commonly used in ancient biblical times, and as you mentioned, it kind of got lost in translation. If you go back to some of the older Bibles, then it will tell you, there's actually, okay, so for example, there's 500 words that are considered archaic and obsolete to the modern day reader. So they took those obsolete words and reworked them into more common diction that we would be more familiar with, and tabré was one of those that did get lost. So tabré was actually changed to timbrel or tambourine in most of our Bible translations. But there's 9 specific scriptures according to the original text which still use the word tabré instead of timbrel or tambourine. And that word tabré is correctly used in the King James versions, and including the Hebrew and Greek Study Bible. So the root word for timbrel is, I can't pronounce these, toph or tuppum, which is different than the root word of tabré, which is tabor. So that's how they were able to get down to the root and make that distinction. So when I felt the call to worship, the Lord put it in my heart to go for a tabré. And at the time, I didn't understand why or the biblical significance for that, and I honestly still didn't really fully understand it until we got that book right there, Heavenly Impact, where she really does an excellent job explaining the use of the tabré during early Hebrew worship and all the biblical references, the scriptures that show the use of the tabré in worship. So, for example, let me just give you a couple really important ones. Here it is. So this one's kind of a prophetic use of the tabré from the book of Jeremiah, from Jeremiah 31:4. Again, I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel. Thou shalt be again adorned with thy tabrés, and shall go forth in the dances of them that make merry. It's pretty awesome. Words fall short, yeah. So it using, as Mrs. Newman said before, using a worship tool can really take you into a higher level of worship. You can really get more involved in worship for the Lord. And like Pastor mentioned, when he was worshiping with his flags, he just felt the Spirit fall on him. That's what I want. That's what I want to see for our church body. I want everyone so engrossed in worship that I just want to see the whole church fall flat. I'm getting goosebumps, but that's how excited I am about this. And when I first approached Deanna about the use of these worship weapons, what I saw was everybody holding a tabré. and just waving it. Anybody can wave a tabret. You can be supine in a bed. You can still, as long as you've got use of your arms, you can still wave, give a wave offering unto the Lord. So tonight, I'd like to help everyone make their own tabret. I did this one at 11 o'clock last night. Woo! Thank you. So I'm talking really fast because I'm really tired. But we have all the materials. We've got the white, of course, for holy and purity. There's all kinds of different colored crosses and cute little tassels you can use to adorn them. All kinds of different lengths, widths, ribbons, and colors. So what I did when I made this is I just spent a couple minutes before the Lord in prayer saying, Lord, what colors do you want me to use to make this tabret? What is your intent for this weapon? And he said, peace. So here's my wave offering to the Lord for peace. And I would also add that once we get our weapons made, okay, it's important we anoint and pray over them before they go into use. We want the Lord's blessing on every single tool to dedicate it for his purpose. Yep. So I've got plenty of supplies. Who's good at arts and crafts? So I have, cross stitch, my eyes cross. So I have some scripture references and my quick notes. If anybody would like copies of this afterward, Pastor, I'm happy to make it available. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because I want to get you guys working because I know it's like 7 o'clock already. So, Mrs. Newman, did you want to come up and talk about what the other project is? Oh, I don't have it.
Sorry, I put it up in the booth.
All right, so also to go along with that, we do, if you want to make flags, and I meant to talk to Mr. Tim about this earlier. That just didn't happen, partly because he was gone and partly because I procrastinate. But these need, I know, imagine that I procrastinate. These need to be trimmed at the bottom so that they would be the right length for waving. So I'm sure I can get him to help out just with his little bandsaw or whatever piece of equipment that you use. I thought my husband could help with the little handheld chainsaw thing that I got him. And he says, no, it'll just rip it up. I just think he just didn't want to do it. But that's just me. So I did bring some gold. I pre-cut these and some blue. Now, Tim cracked me up because he goes, all right, this is pretty bad. This says gold, and this one says blue. Like, here's your sign, okay? It's not that bad. Gold. Can anybody remember, raise your hand, what gold means? What was the color of gold? What did it stand for? Raise your hand, Pastor Russ. Divinity, divine presence of the Lord, and Ruth. Which, thank you, glory. You used to do that in sign language. I'm like, you taught me this was glory, right? Yes? Okay. Here's your sign. All right. Poor Ruth, sorry. All right. Blue. Does anybody not Pastor Russ? Or somebody who probably has been studying our colors? Pastor Jim. Royalty is definitely one. There's a couple more. All right, can you name another one? What was it? Peace. Yep. Like that light blue was peace. Anything else? What'd you say? Water. Yeah. And the sky, right? Okay, so water and the sky. And also blessing. Okay, so I have pre-cut these, and they're like this size. I looked all over. I hunted and hunted and hunted to find the material like that we have for the flags over there. Nope, because they were like 100 years ago. Right, Ancient of Days, and I couldn't find it. And I go into, I look in all the stores everywhere we go, and I always pray, nope, not find it, nope, not find it, nope, not find it. I went into Walmart one day, and then there it was. Ah! So I got some blue and I got some gold. So if you want to make your own flags, we have, and it's nice and easy because I don't know how to sew. I'm not a crafter, and I didn't actually make those flags. Louise Voisin did that for me back when I taught K4. That's how long ago it was. But we just fold it over. You just glue the edges like that, and then you fold it over this, and you glue the edge, and ta-da! In theory, that's how it's supposed to work. So we have these available as well. So you can just decide if you want to make a tabret or to make a flag, or what color you would like. It's up to you guys. All righty. That's it for like teaching.
Yeah, I'm teaching for sure.
So we'd like a little background music, please, maestro. Sure, you do whatever you want to do. It's all up to you.
So how about we form 2 different lines? If you would like to make a worship flag, you can line up over there. Mrs. Newman can gladly assist you. If you would like, there we are. If you would like to make a worship tabret, you come form a line right over here, and we'll see what kind of mess we can make.
And nobody will be offended if you all want to make tabrets. I'm fine with that.
Here, let's give you a couple glues.
A couple of glues would be good.
Glues. I have more glues. Hello.
Hi.
So, these are super fun. I'm just going to